What's going on, guys? Welcome to Members Talk Live, where our channel members jump on camera. We have a discussion, and we just have a great time talking movies, TV, and all that fun entertainment stuff. I'm Zach. I'm the host of the show and the channel, so thank you so much for joining. Today, we are going to be discussing that 2025 Marvel slate. They released what they're going to be releasing on Disney Plus. We officially have all the movies and TV shows that we can expect from Marvel, the MCU specifically, of next year. So that's what we're going to be discussing today. Jump down in the comments as well. Ask us some questions. Contribute to what you guys think the tiers should be for each individual project. And at the end of the show, if we have some time, we're going to take some live viewer questions as well. So put in your comments and questions throughout the show, and we'll get to them a little bit later. Without further ado, guys, this is Zach Milne Talks. No, it's not. This is not Zach Milne Talks Live. And this is where the edit comes in when we used to do that. This is Members Talks Live. And with that said, guys, let's bring in our members. We've got movie reviews from Brian Lane. What's going on, man?
Not much. Just happy to be here.
Happy to have you here, man. Always a pleasure. And we've got Ace of the Ace Avenue joining us. What's going on, buddy?
Hi, doing good, man. How are you guys doing? Appreciate you guys for having me back on.
Yeah, always appreciate you coming on, man. Always a good time. Before we get started, give the guys a little preview of what they can expect from your channel. Their links are down in the description below, guys, to go check them out. Ryan, let's start with you.
Just saw Absolution last night, so you can expect a review of it coming out in the next few days. I've also got a review of Here. Well, I haven't seen Here yet, but I do plan on seeing it to talk about it, if only for the de-aging technology.
I'm very curious about that movie. I want to check it out myself. I don't know if I'm going to get around to it this weekend, but I'm very curious about it. How about you, Ace? What do you got going on at your channel right now? I know you just had a big success with the Yankee season, so congratulations on that, man.
Oh yeah, much appreciated. Just covering the Yankee off season, picking up on the movie stuff. That's what I've negated a little bit through the Yankee off season because it was so busy. Still trying to navigate, year 2 of my channel. You know what I'm saying, a little balance and stuff like that. So just going through that, and I look forward to covering a lot of movies and off season topic stuff.
Yeah, man, both of you guys are killing it over on your channels. I love seeing the growth and seeing where you guys are going, and congratulations to all the success for both of you. So,
appreciate that, and you as well.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. So today, as mentioned, we are going to be doing a tier ranking. I've never done a tier ranking before, so I'm pretty excited to do this, of the upcoming Marvel 2025 slate. As we all know, famously, Marvel has decided to basically take this year off, except for 2 projects, Deadpool and Wolverine and Agatha All Along, which I haven't finished Agatha All Along yet, but I was quite enjoying the show. Did you guys watch Agatha? Any one of you?
No.
I wanted to wait and binge it all. So this is going to be the week that I go ahead and take a deep dive into that, but I heard it was pretty good.
Yeah, I heard good things about it too, and I was enjoying. I think I got up to episode 4, and then I think that's when I kind of lost track of it. But I got to get back on it. And the Penguin, I got to watch episode 6 still. Oh my gosh, I'm so behind. But Deadpool and Wolverine and Agatha being the only projects that Marvel released this year seemed to go well for them, because for the most part, those projects seem to be very well received by the general audience and the big hardcore fans alike. But that ends next year. Because next year, guys, Marvel, we're cranking it back up. We have 10 MCU projects coming out next year. 10 of them. From 2 to 10. That's a big jump. So, moving into our tier ranking, let's get into it, guys. Let's get into what we can expect from Marvel. So, the projects coming up from Marvel next year. What If Season 3 actually comes out at the end of this year in December? I didn't realize that when I put it in this tier list, but we'll still rank it. Then we got Captain America Brave New World. This is in release order, by the way. Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four. That's our slate of movies. Going into our TV shows, animated and live action, we've got Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, Daredevil Born Again, Ironheart, Eyes of Wakanda, Marvel Zombies, and Wonder Man. And we'll kind of give our general thoughts and opinions about how we feel about this upcoming year as a whole at the end of the tier ranking. But before we do that, let's get to this tier ranking. So let's talk about the first thing up here. Let's talk about What If Season 3, which again is coming out at the end of this year. Because for me personally, What If has been probably the most unnecessary project of the MCU to watch up until this point, I would say. I did get excited about What If in season 1 and 2, or more so season 1, because there was the potential of it tying into Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. If you guys remember when Multiverse Madness was coming out, there was huge hype around, are we going to see Zombie Strange? Is that the Zombie Strange from What If? And there was Captain Carter had an episode in What If, and we thought that would translate to Multiverse, which she was in Multiverse, but it didn't really connect to What If. And there was a couple episodes in season 1 that I did get a kick out of, but for the most part, this wasn't a show for me personally that I felt the need to tune into for each and every episode. Ryan, how about you? What If, up until this point, how you been feeling about it? Are you a fan of this series?
I mean, I don't know. It's mildly amusing. I remember I did watch season 1, and I kind of enjoyed it. There were some episodes I liked, some I was less interested in, but I don't know. It just I was disappointed by the marketing. It's like, because the whole concept, it's like alternative universe, like what if, character did this instead of that, swap out characters. And I was like, oh, that's exciting. And then, the results they take are surprisingly banal in nature. Again, not terrible. Like, the animation style is cool. Just, it just didn't excite me. I didn't even watch season 2.
Yeah, I kind of I didn't see season 2 either. I kind of forgot about season 2 because season 2 kind of came out of nowhere. They just kind of dropped that around Christmas time and said they were coming out daily episodes. And I'll be honest, I don't think I caught a single episode of season 2. Ace, what about you? How have you thought of What If up until this point?
Same. I mean, I didn't watch season 2 either. Season 1, there were certain episodes that impressed me, you know what I'm saying, where I was like very excited. Obviously, Chadwick Boseman's last performance in the MCU was a big episode. But like you had said, the fact that it really didn't tie in heavily continuity wise to the main MCU timeline kind of made me seem like, what was the point? Like I said, certain things were kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? The Marvel Zombies, which is a huge comic. I was excited to see that one. But then there were certain ones like that lost me, like Party Thor. I just felt like, yeah, it's kind of unnecessary. So I just kind of like, kind of took it or leave it. Season 1, I watched it, but I wasn't fully invested. In season 2, I just totally skipped over.
What did you think about how they tried to tie it into a bigger storyline at the end of season 1 when they had like Ultra, what was it? Ultra Mega, what was his name? Mega
I know what
Ultra?
you're talking about.
Yeah,
like
I can't
he had
remember
the
what it
Infinity
was.
Gauntlets and stuff like that.
Yeah, and they had brought like all characters from like the past episodes together, like,
and how he killed Thanos with like one stone, and everybody was like, "What?" Everybody was pissed
yeah,
off at that.
yeah. I don't know. I thought like keeping it as an anthology, like just like one-offs, was kind of like, I don't know. I didn't really care that they tied it all together at the end. It didn't keep me captivated or interested. So I don't know where season 2 or season 3 is going. If that's continuing the storyline, it doesn't really sound like you guys would know either from what you guys are saying. So I'm just gonna kick off What If season 3, and this is no offense to like the people who worked on it, the people, because the animation, like Ryan said, is quite good, and there was a couple episodes that I enjoyed, but for season 3, I gotta go skipping it. It's not really something I'm interested in.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, same here. It's good animation, just, nothing spectacular.
All right, well, there you go. Skipping
like
it
you
is.
said, it's nothing against them. It's just not enough to really hold my interest week in and week out. Now, is it something that maybe you might go back to and say, let me go ahead and check it out, just because, if you got some downtime, but it just doesn't seem like it's something that's very, like, a must-see.
Yeah, I agree. By the way, hello to Brandon McDaniels in the chat there, and Jessica Johnson. Thank you guys so much for joining us for this discussion. And as we move on from What If and 2024, we officially move in to 2025, and that kicks off with Captain America: Brave New World. Now, for this part of the show, there is a great little article over on Screen Rant that kind of breaks down what each project is about that I thought we could look at to help influence our decisions a bit more. So with that said, I'm going to bring on in Screen Rant here, and we're going to look at Captain America: Brave New World. So Screen Rant says, Captain America: Brave New World, the cast includes some returning Marvel characters, one played by a new actor following the passing of William Hurt in 2022, Harrison Ford is taking on the role of Thunderbolt Ross, who will be president of the U.S. in Brave New World. Based on the official teaser trailer, Ross will turn into the Red Hulk at some point in the film. The teaser doesn't give too many story beats away, but the film looks to carry much of the same tone as Captain America: Winter Soldier and Civil War. In addition to Mackie and Ford, the movie stars Danny Romez as Joaquin Torres, I think, who takes up the mantle of the Falcon. Carl Lumbly as Isaiah Bradley. Liv Tyler apparently is still coming back as Betty Ross. And Tim Blake Nelson is returning as the leader, a villain from the comics. Actress Shira Haas joins the MCU reportedly as the Israeli hero Sabra.
Oh, boy.
With yeah. Anyways, we'll see how that goes. But with that said, guys, with Captain America Brave New World, I will say I feel very lukewarm on it, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. And a lot of that does come from some outside knowledge of just the movie itself. As we know, the movie basically got completely rewritten and reshot. They basically shot an entire other movie as they were basically wrapping up the first time they shot this movie. As much as I don't put a lot of merit into screen tests, because anyone can say they saw screen testing, it's not positive word of mouth coming out of those screen testings, which does make me very disappointed, though, because I am rooting for Anthony Mackie. I already think that this guy has a huge uphill battle as taking over the mantle of Captain America from Chris Evans and Steve Rogers, and having the audience accept who was admittedly a sidekick now being the lead Captain America of the movie. I'm rooting for him. I hope but everything that I've been kind of hearing about this, it sounds messy. Even the connections to Falcon and Winter Soldier, once again, you have to watch the show to understand the movie in some ways. I'm worried about that aspect. I am very curious about Liv Tyler coming back and doing more connections to the Incredible Hulk, because as we saw in She-Hulk, it looks like they're trying to bring that movie back into the fold after all these years of it basically being the black sheep of the MCU. They're trying to include it more at the dinner table. So I'm very interested to see her come back, see what her role is. Of course, Harrison Ford, big fan of. But there's something about this movie, even though they're saying it has the tone of Winter Soldier and Civil War, which are some of my favorites in the MCU, that definitely should get me excited for this. I just feel so lukewarm, as I was saying, about it. Ace, how about you, man? You look at Captain America Brave New World, you hear what's happening with it. How does it hit you? What are you thinking?
I'm excited for this. I'm actually can't wait. I'm not gonna say I'm excited to like the must-see level, like where I'm like counting down the days, but I definitely will check it out multiple times when it comes out. Harrison Ford in his first MCU role, rest in peace to William Hurt. I'm excited to see Anthony Mackie at the forefront because I think it's gonna be I think he's phenomenal in that role. My only question is, like, for the casual fan, will it really translate? Because, like, the same thing, we'll talk about this more when we get to the Thunderbolts section. When you start bringing the side heroes and putting them more on the main stage, like, does that equate to people excited to see them? Stuff like that. And it's going to be, I feel like there's going to be a lot of political stuff behind this as well. Like, a lot of racial things will be into it as well, because being that, Anthony Mackie as well, that stuff will play factors into, like, the overall box office and people seeing it. But from what I saw in the trailer, I was impressed. And I actually, full disclosure, the first trailer that came out, I actually missed the first Red Hulk video, because like I was watching it, and you know how Marvel does that thing where they'll put the end credits and then put something at the end of it. I turned it off, and then everybody's talking about Red Hulk, and I'm like, oh man,
it was blink and you miss it though.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a really quick shot.
And then obviously they show different scenes from like different countries and stuff like that. I wish they would just let us all see that. But then so it would just add it to my excitement and stuff like that. But I'm excited. I really am. And I can't wait to check this one out.
Ryan, Brave New World, Captain America 4. How are you feeling about it?
I'm feeling pretty good. Again, I'm excited. Like Ace said, I'm interested to see Harrison Ford in an MCU Marvel movie, because it's... he's never, like, I feel like of all like the old tier actors who get that special and credit, like Harrison Ford is exceptionally late to the party. Like 17 years. Wait, no, shit. No, 16 years. Time.
You took
over a decade. Over a decade.
Yeah,
almost
like
decades.
well over a decade.
08, yeah, 2008.
It's long time coming. So I'm interested to see how he does it, because this isn't his first foray into blockbuster filmmaking. So again, he had the Star Wars movies, and like even the later stage ones, and even Rise of Skywalker for his 10-second cameo in which he didn't even bother to shave, which honestly I'm not even bothered by that. He still crushed it even without shaving. So to see him here, I'm interested to see how he adapts in the movie. Again, I've never seen Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I've never seen a single episode, not even a clip on YouTube. So I'm interested. Again, I saw like the end of Endgame, where Captain America gives Rhodey, no, not Rhodey,
Falcon. Sam
Falcon,
Wilson.
yeah, his shield. And so I mean, again, if this, I'm interested to see how well I can follow.
And that could work, because if you do, because Falcon Winter Soldier was kind of like a prelude to this, just kind of showing the struggle he had accepting the shield. But if you went from Endgame, where he just got the shield, into Captain America 4, I feel like they could make it a pretty easy transition. We'll see how it goes.
I was going to ask, like, will you check out Falcon and Winter Soldier before you check this movie out, Ryan?
Probably not. Again, it's I know everyone talks to me. I've never really been an MCU TV show kind of person. The only two shows I've ever checked out were What If, and that was on, and Moon Knight. And the only reason I checked those two shows out was because it's, I don't know, I guess I'm just not interested in continuance for MCU TV shows, because Moon Knight, it had Oscar Isaac and Ethan Hawke, and it seemed like completely separate, like not even like, again, there may have been a blink and you miss it cameo type Easter egg in Moon Knight, but otherwise it was completely independent. What If is like classic anthology speculation. But I guess I've just never like felt like, oh yeah, I gotta watch this show. And even though I've had friends, I've got one friend who's like, oh, you've got to check out WandaVision. I'm like, okay, and then I don't.
WandaVision.
So it's again, never say never, but
I will say Falcon Winter Soldier seems to be the most important for the viewing of this year, because it's going to influence Captain America Brave New World and Thunderbolts, because you got US Agent in there. So I would recommend checking out Falcon Winter Soldier. With that said, though, guys, I'll kick this off with how I'm feeling about Captain America. I'm thinking the Will Check Out place is the best place for it for me.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, deal.
Yeah, we agree? Okay, because I'm definitely going to watch it, but my hype levels are not quite there yet.
Well, maybe that would change. Maybe that would change as second trailers drop, and but we'll see.
Absolutely, it absolutely could. And then we got Space Viper in here saying, "Hey gang, what's going on? Thanks for joining." And the Laser, yo, I just woke up. What's good? What's going on, Laser? Thanks for joining us, man.
Good morning.
Definitely. What are you guys feeling about these projects? How would you guys tier them? Let us know in the comments down below. Moving on, we've got Thunderbolts. So we'll go over to Screen Rant here, and they'll tell us a little bit about what we can expect from the Thunderbolts. And here's what they have to say. The Thunderbolts team is going to be led by Bucky Barnes, a.k.a. the Winter Soldier, played by Sebastian Stan. The other confirmed members of the Thunderbolts include Florence Pugh, who is on a hot streak right now, Wyatt Russell as John Walker, a.k.a. U.S. Agent. Again, going back to Falcon Winter Soldier, Ryan, I would definitely recommend checking that out. David Harbour as Red Guardian, Hannah Joan Kamen as Ghost, and Olga Kurylenko as Antonio Draco, aka Taskmaster, which I forgot Taskmaster was coming back for this. And we did a jump there because of a stupid ad. The Thunderbolts got its first official teaser trailer showing the various members of the team being brought together under the suspicious circumstances. It also gave the first look at Lewis Pullman as Bob, who seems likely to be Sentry. Maybe Ace can tell us a little bit about that as we move forward. A brand new superpowered character in the MCU. So far, it looks like Thunderbolts with an asterisk will be closely tied to what happened in Falcon Winter Soldier and Black Widow. So for me, honestly, without burying the lead, I'm excited for this one. I'm actually surprised of how excited I am for this one. It's not one that I was anticipating before that first trailer, but once that first trailer dropped, I love this ensemble. I loved the vibe of that trailer. It felt more so like Phase 2, Phase 3 Marvel than any of the projects have felt in the past couple years. It just looked tangible. It looked like they were in real locations. I liked the mystery kind of aspect setup that they had in this teaser. And I really like these side characters coming back, especially Ghost, who I thought
Yes.
was such an interesting character introduced to Ant-Man and the Wasp and was kind of underused, and like not in that movie, but since that movie, I've been wondering where she's been at, because I liked the actress, I liked the character, I liked the power set, I liked the backstory, and to see her coming back into the fold in a movie like this. Plus, you know, Elena, I love. Of course, I love Bucky. I'm really looking forward to seeing the rest of John Walker's journey continue in the MCU moving forward, because I really liked the tragedies of U.S. Agent in some ways, and I'm hoping for a redemption arc for him in some ways. Ryan, you've seen the trailer for Thunderbolts. You've heard this description. How are you feeling about Thunderbolts? Are you as hyped as I am, or are you a little bit less?
Not quite as hyped. I am curious to see how it works, if only intellectually so, just to see how. Because again, I've never seen. I'm familiar with the broad stroke of the Falcon and the faux Captain America with John Walker. So I'm interested to see how, because this feels like the first time that they're transitioning a bunch of characters from MCU TV shows that were exclusives into the movies. So I'm interested to see how they can pull that off. If they
did that with the Marvels too.
Oh yeah,
which did not turn out well for them. I will add that was the
I liked it a little bit, but yeah, fiscally speaking,
I liked it, but it was a bomb at the box office. It was their biggest bomb ever.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess I'm interested. I mean, if only to see what Marvel's attempt at Suicide Squad looks like.
Yep.
Because I mean, this is basically just a bunch of Avengers rejects. You've literally got the Soviet version of Captain America with Red Guardian. So
that's true. That's true. Ace, Thunderbolts. What are you thinking? And can you tell a little bit about Sentry, who that character might be in this movie?
Yeah, well, Sentry was supposed to be played by Steven Yeun. I know that was a big thing, but he's a very overpowered hero. So I'm excited to see how well it translates to the big screen. But as far as this movie, I think I'm leaning more towards with you, Zach. I'm excited for this. A ragtag team of misfits from scattered throughout the entire MCU, whether you have movies, shows coming together. I think my most excitement about this is just to see what's going on with these characters, because some of them, where we left off, like you said, John Walker, will he get a redemption? Because they, like Ryan had made a good joke, the faux Captain America, a lot of people hated him. So will we get a redemption? To see where David Harbour's character, the Red Guardians, left off. Obviously, Florence Pugh as Yelena, she's a favorite character. She's very beloved. When she showed up in Hawkeye, everybody loved it as well. Bucky's Bucky. Everybody loves Bucky. But just to see them come together collectively, and Ryan had said the same thing I was going to say, Marvel Suicide Squad, to see adventures like that, I'm very excited. Taskmaster, I hope they give a better redemption, because Taskmaster's reception was not good in Black Widow. So
yeah,
maybe this is the opportunity to right some of the wrongs that they previous did in some of the other movies. But I am excited for this. I really am. And to see more Valentina, yeah, this is gonna feel dope to watch, and I cannot wait to see this. But you're definitely gonna have to start watching some of the older ones. You're gonna have to watch Black Widow. You're gonna have to watch Falcon and Winter Soldier to really see where these characters started, to be able to see their character development. But I think that this is must see.
I agree with Ace. I'm on the must see tier. I'm really excited for this. I hope it delivers. Ryan, where do you think we should place it?
We'll check out.
We'll check out. Okay, we got two must sees. We'll do weekly watch.
All right,
that's fantastic.
Deal.
We'll do weekly watch.
Nice.
Deal.
My only concern with this movie is like I had said when we were talking about the previous one. Will the fans really flock to this because it's a bunch of side characters? Like, people want to see the mains. I feel like if they just go in this open-minded, they'll really enjoy this.
Well, even Laser's saying, wait, well, you have to watch Disney Plus shows to watch Thunderbolts. I'm sure a lot of people are probably feeling that way. Like we mentioned before, Falcon Winter Soldier, I think will be essential. I think that'll be essential.
Oh, definitely.
Because not only do you have U.S. Agent in this, but you also have to watch Falcon Winter Soldier to understand the relationship between Bucky and U.S. Agent in this. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think you might have to. You might have to. All right. Well, moving on from Thunderbolts, we've got a big one that arguably is probably the most important movie Marvel has to get right since Iron Man, in my opinion, and that's Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four. Screen Rant says, what is known is the main cast of Fantastic Four First Steps, which honestly I hope they change that title. I'm not a big fan of it. Which it includes Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, and Ebon Moss-Baccarat as Ben Grimm. Additionally, Julia Garner will play Shella Baal, aka the Silver Surfer, and Ralph Ineson will play the planet-devouring Marvel villain Galactus. Paul Walter Hauser, John Malkovich, and Natasha Lyonne have been cast in undisclosed roles. Now that Robert Downey Jr. will be playing Doctor Doom in Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, it's possible that he might also appear in the Fantastic Four prior to those films. With Galactus and Silver Surfer both in the film, though, it might feel crowded with Doctor Doom around, especially with the anticipated return of Robert Downey Jr., which I completely agree with that. So there's a lot of hype around Fantastic Four. A lot of people are excited for the Fantastic Four. I will be honest, I'm not super excited for this movie. I think it sounds really interesting with like the 60s aesthetic and taking place in a different universe. But I tried reading some Fantastic Four comics these past couple weeks. I wasn't really getting into it. And the Tim Story Fantastic Fours are kind of like really the only ones that I have, aside from Josh Tranks. But I'll leave that out for good measure. The Tim Story ones are the closest I've gotten to like in the Fantastic Four. But I don't know. I can't really get into this group. It appears now in Marvel's hands because it is well known. This is Kevin Feige's like favorite thing. Like he loves the X-Men. He loves the Fantastic Four. He has been juicing at the mouth to get them into his MCU, and now he finally has the chance to do so. So I think that he's going to do his darnest to get this absolutely right for the comic book lovers and for the general audience to finally attach to these characters like me. So my anticipation for Fantastic Four is more so for seeing how Marvel can right their ship than for the movie itself. Ryan, how about you? How are you feeling about Fantastic Four?
Well, I'm really interested, like just seeing the cast, like Vanessa Kirby and Julia Garner, because I watched Ozark about a few months back. A really good show. Julia Garner is really good in it. Natasha Lyonne and John Malkovich.
Who doesn't love John Malkovich?
Yeah, it's really cool. I'm really excited for the cast. And Pedro Pascal. Again, I like the cast. I'm interested to see how it turns out. Plus, it finally seems like they actually want to make a Fantastic Four movie, because that's pretty much what happened with every Fantastic Four movie. Like, the studio bought the rights, they let the rights languish, and then they were like, oh, shoot, we got to make a movie, otherwise we lose the rights. That's what happened with the 1991, which is only available on bootleg VHS copies. The first Tim Story one, that one, again, I think same thing. The sequel, I'm not sure of the sequel, because I think like the first Tim Story one actually made money and they wanted to make a sequel, but then that one didn't do so well, so then it just languished. And then years and years later, they're like, oh shoot, we're going to lose the rights. Crap. You made Chronicle. Here, come on over here, make a movie. And then he made a movie. They didn't like it. They reshot it. And then a whole bunch of Twitter drama. And now we're up to here, a decade later now for Fantastic Four. So let's see. 1, 2, 3. Fifth time's a charm?
Hopefully. We'll see. By the way, hello to Jacob Petruzzi in the chat. What's going on, man? And our beloved channel member and friend, Ace. What's going on, dude?
That's T.
Feeling a... Oh, sorry. T.
He's used to the reverse.
Yeah, I am. It's T. Sorry. How you see that with T? What's going on, man? Saying feeling a bit under the weather. Wish I could have joined. Oh, well, feel better, man. Wishing you the best.
Better.
All right, T. No. Ace, how are you feeling about the Fantastic Four?
You can see me over here. I'm salivating for this one. Marvel's first family, and I cannot wait for them to finally get it right. It's as simple as that. Like, not saying the other ones were bad, because especially, I went back and I was doing my Fox Watch, which I'm going to continue very soon. Watched the first two Fantastic Fours, and I'm like, it's not that they're bad movies. they're just campy. They're just okay. You know what I'm saying? They're middle of the road. And then we know Fantastic Four, expletive deleted. You add that, you know what I'm saying? That last movie with that was just terrible. But I'm looking forward to seeing the MCU get it right. Like you had said, this on top of with the X-Men is Kevin Feige's babies. He's been wanting to get them in this moment for so long, and they better not drop the ball because we've been waiting for so long to get this done. Robert Downey Jr., which you were talking about the article, I think at some point he kind of has to show up because Doctor Doom is so synonymous with the Fantastic Four. Even if he just shows up briefly at an end cameo would be great. But this is top of my list. I'm a big Fantastic Four fan. I love this team up. They're great. Wish we could have seen them earlier because there were so many stories that you could have told throughout the MCU, especially in the Civil War era, when that movie, that if they were included, it could have just made it better. So it's about time. This is long overdue.
All right, Ace, why don't you kick us off? Where should we place Fantastic Four?
What's the tier higher than must see? Right there for me is where it's at. Must see is where it's at.
Ryan, what do you think?
I mean, yeah, okay, yeah, must see. Yeah, let's go with
I'm
that.
gonna agree with you guys. I'm gonna go must see as well. Not like I said, I may not be like super hyped for it at this moment, but with what it's going to do for the MCU, how it's going to move everything moving forward, and the fact that Kevin Feige, like, they have to get this right. Like, it's not hyperbole. They have to, or else I don't know what's going to happen to the Fantastic Four if they do not get this one right. So it is a must-see to see if they can pull it off, to see what they can do with it now that it's in the hands of its creators.
This is going to be one of the most important MCU films. It has to be.
Yeah, I agree. All right, guys, and that brings us into a whole bunch of TV. That brings us into a whole bunch of TV coming up this year. And we start off with Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Going to Screen Rant, they say, when Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man was first announced as Spider-Man Freshman Year, I totally forgot that was the original title. It was believed to be an animated prequel for Tom Holland's character prior to the events of Captain America Civil War and Spider-Man Homecoming. That isn't the case anymore. Instead, it will feature a new take on the iconic character set in an alternate timeline. It will still explore Spider-Man's origins, but different to what they are in the MCU. The show is animated in a 2D style project with a unique art direction that will help distinguish itself from other animated series. And Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is set to be released on Disney Plus on January 29th, 2025, which means it is the first Marvel Studios project releasing that year. And 2025 looks to be a great year for Marvel in film and television. All right, so Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Now, like I kind of mentioned on Zach Milne Talks Live this Wednesday when someone asked me about it, I was confused by this project because it was supposed to be Tom Holland's prequel animated form, but then they had like Harry Osborn and all these characters that didn't feel like they would fit with Tom Holland's MCU character. I was very confused. The fact that they have kind of changed that direction and have made this its own thing, I'm interested now. I'm more interested in it than I was before because that confusion's gone. And I mean, if you guys are on the channel for a while, you know I love Spider-Man. I love this character. It's my favorite character. I'll watch almost anything that's Spider-Man related. I've missed some of the animated shows, but I've caught at least I think one episode of every animated Spider-Man show that has been out there. So I'm thinking I'll definitely check this out. And the little like 2-second clip that we got from that sizzle reel of what to expect from this, the animation looked cool. I liked the character design of Spider-Man, where it does kind of look like when Tom Holland was in his hoodie and goggles in Homecoming, but there's some alterations made to that too to make it look like its own thing, but still keeping the essence of the Spider-Man suit there. I liked that. I liked the animated style. I liked the art direction. So I'm curious. I'm curious about this one. What do you think, Ace? What do you think about Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man?
Quick question: is Holland voicing it?
I don't think so.
Okay, so I like it then. It's as simple as that. Like, there's a lot of circumstances that are going to get me excited for this. Being at Spider-Man, like you said, Zach, you and I both, love Spider-Man to death. He's our favorite superhero. Then the fact that it comes out a day after my birthday is going to have like me excited for this too. So I kind of feel like MCU is giving me a little gift. To tell the stories that we've been clamoring for, you know what I'm saying? A more grounded story of Spider-Man, just a different from the MCU. I think this is going to be an absolute hit. And then obviously, I eat up anything that's Spider-Man. So it's going to be, for me to be disappointed in this, it would have to be really, really bad. But I'm super excited just to see more Spider-Man stories.
What about you, Ryan?
I'm mildly interested. Again, like I said, I'm not a big MCU TV show person, but seeing more Spider-Man, TV show stuff, another Spider-Man TV show does sound interesting. I don't know. As far as animated Spider-Man goes, my heart lies with the Spider-Verse movies. Those are like my jam.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I am very patiently waiting for the next movie because those poor animators. Oh man, I want it to come
They
out, but I don't want them to suffer too. Suffer. It's
they really thought they were getting that next one out in a year.
Oh yeah, they really did. That didn't happen. Hopefully it comes out next year though. The laser in here is saying he's a big fan of animation, but he doesn't care for any of the animated stuff. Plus, the Spider-Man show releases in 2 months, and there's no trailer. Feels like they're hiding it from us. I suspect we'll get an actual trailer by like next month, or even this month, maybe in November. I wouldn't be surprised if they dropped one later this month or in December, and I think that'll be fine for a January release of an animated show. As far as for me, I think. I think I put this in passive watch. I don't think this is something that I'm gonna like mark down on the calendar to watch. I'm definitely gonna probably like check out the first episode or so to see the animation style, see what it is Spider-Man related, and I might check in here or there. So I'm gonna go with passive watch for this one. What are you guys thinking? What are you thinking, Ryan?
yeah, passive watch. Yeah,
Yeah.
I concur.
I'm more in the we'll check it out because it's something that I definitely like. It could go down to passive watch depending on how good the first couple episodes are.
Yeah.
That's very important when it comes to these series. If the first couple, 2-3 episodes really hook you, you end up getting hooked on the show. But we'll check it out, but we could put it in passive watch.
All right. Sounds like we're in agreement then. Passive watch. All right, guys. And that brings us to another big one, perhaps even bigger than any of the movies coming out this year. And that's Daredevil Born Again. This is what Screen Rant says, following the cancellation of Daredevil, it seemed that Charlie Cox's time playing Matt Murdock was done. However, that changed when he appeared in a surprise cameo in Spider-Man No Way Home. Since the Netflix Defender saga was folded into the official Sacred Timeline, Matt Murdock has returned in Echo and She-Hulk and will star in his own series, Daredevil Born Again. Marvel confirmed that Daredevil Born Again will premiere on March 4th, 2025 on Disney+. In addition to Cox, the series features returning stars Vincent D'Onofrio as Wilson Fisk, a.k.a. the Kingpin, John Bernthal as Frank Castle, aka the Punisher, Eldon Henson as Foggy Nelson, and Deborah Ann Wall as Karen Page. Wilson Bethel will also return as Bullseye, who was one of the main villains of Daredevil Season 3. Fans can finally see his story continue in the upcoming series after the Daredevil series ended on a cliffhanger with the character. So this is another one where, much like Captain America Brave New World, they kind of shot a majority of this and then scrapped it all and shot a completely new show. And I feel like since they've done that, the excitement for this has gone up for a lot of people. Because I'll be honest, I've not seen the Netflix Daredevil show. And
You gotta check
me
it out.
neither.
Part of that was just because when it came out, I just kind of was like, oh, it's not MCU, so I don't really need to watch it. And then when it got folded into the MCU, it was like, okay, Daredevil, Punisher, Luke Cage, what's the girl's name? Jessica Jones. Thank you, Jessica Jones. And then the Defenders. How do I watch that? What's the order? I got kind of overwhelmed. So then I was like, well, they say this Daredevil show is not going to be related to that on Marvel, so I'll just watch it as the casual viewer and see how it works for me. Well, that's changed. This is officially season 4 of the Daredevil show, so I got to go and watch that show to catch up because I don't think I don't want to be lost. I don't think this is going to work if you haven't seen those seasons. Ace, it sounds like you're the only one of us that's watched the original show. So tell us how you're feeling about Daredevil Born Again.
Must see, and the first Daredevil shows are must see. I would tell you this for you two that haven't seen it. Watch the Daredevils and then watch the Punisher. That's the only things I would recommend to you because those, as of right now, seem to be. And then Jessica Jones is rumored to be coming back too, but those seem to be the only two characters that are transitioning over that tell the story to push Daredevil Born Again forward. So I would recommend watching those 5 seasons because I believe it's 2 of Punisher, 3 of Daredevil. Must watch. They're some of the best. I put them up there with some of the best shows, like The Flashes, the first 3 seasons of Flashes, first 3 seasons of Arrow, really good. Wow. And it just builds my anticipation for Daredevil because the reception for Charlie Cox when he had, I don't know how good your theaters were, but when he came back in No Way Home, that was such a great, like everybody was clapping. That was like a definitely slow clap moment. And they've been sprinkling Daredevil throughout the MCU just enough to get us excited. He was in She-Hulk. In my opinion, he was the best part of She-Hulk. He was in Echo. That fight scene, even though they showed it all in a trailer, it was still one of the best parts of Echo. I can't wait for this. Charlie Cox is amazing. Vincent D'Onofrio is absolutely incredible. The way he's able to immerse himself into that role of Kingpin is crazy. Like the first time I saw him, and I forgot that he was in Men in Black. Like he was the cockroach guy in Men in Black. So that was crazy.
Right.
And that goes to show you how well he does the roles. But John coming back as Punisher, this one, like, no doubt, I'm excited to see it. And then after watching that leaked trailer, got me more excited.
Yeah, I will say, I watched the leaked trailer when it came out from was it Comic-Con or D23, whenever that was.
Mm-hmm.
And they played the most of this footage in that sizzle reel for 2025 that they released this past week. And having not seen the show, I'm with you. I'm must see. It looks fantastic. Like just as a show in itself. Like and you know the Wilson Fisk character has been in Echo and Hawkeye, so I'm kind of more familiar with Kingpin. And Daredevil did pop up in She-Hulk, and I liked his appearance a lot in She-Hulk. So these characters, these actors, they already have goodwill with me, even without having watched their series, that I'm so on board with this. I'm definitely going to go back and watch their original show on Netflix. I guess now it's on Disney Plus too, to catch up before this comes out, because I'm really excited for it. I'm with you on must see. Ryan, what do you think about Daredevil, and where do you think it should be tiered?
I don't know. This is a little tough because, again, like I said, I've never seen any of the Netflix Marvel shows, but
Yeah.
I kind of regret it a little because, like, John Bernthal, I mean, I like him. He's a really good actor, which is funny because he plays a lot of jerk characters on television.
Shame.
So I'm more interested now. I mean, at this point, you know, maybe someday, you know, I'll try to, you know, check out those shows like, you know, Daredevil and Punisher, especially Punisher again with John Bernthal. So yeah, I'm mildly interested. Again, this isn't like, you know, my jam. Like, oh yeah, I want this character to show up. You know,
Right. Okay. So where do you think you would place it on the tier ranking?
We'll check out.
We'll check out. Okay, I think we're about to see your will check out. So let's put it in weekly watch.
Yep.
All right.
Put it in weekly watch.
I definitely think this will be a weekly. Well, are they dropping them all at the same time, or are they dropping it weekly?
I think it's weekly. I don't think they're dropping it at the same time. That doesn't seem to be Disney Plus's thing.
Yeah, because Netflix did, I believe. I believe Netflix dropped them all at one time, did they not? Or
yeah,
actually, you guys
I think
did.
they did.
Yeah. So if it's a weekly watch, I do know that there's a lot of episodes into this.
I think there's like 13.
That's a lot for a weekly watch. That is a lot. I thought it was 20 something.
You know what? They'll probably do like a 3-episode or a 2-episode premiere or something like that, and then like they did with Agatha, maybe like a 2-episode finale premiere. So,
well, I'm excited because, like, if you love a darker, grittier, standalone storyline, like I feel like this is gonna be it. And you guys should. I definitely recommend watching the Netflix ones. You guys will fall in love with it.
yeah, and I've read the Daredevil Born Again comic, so I'm curious to see how much of that will tie in, or like they'll take into the show. All right, guys. With that brings us to Ironheart, and let's see what Screen Rant's saying about Ironheart. Here's what they have to say. It's actually not too much is known, which is kind of crazy because this this show has been like, I think this was announced like 2 years ago, and I think they shot it like 2 years ago as well. But anyways, they say Dominique Thorne was introduced as Riri Williams, a legacy Iron Man character in Marvel Comics in 2021's Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. She's 2021. I thought that was 2022 for some reason.
Yeah, I think it's 2022. I think that's a typo.
Is that a mistype? Okay, yeah, because I'm like, that seems wrong.
Yeah, I feel like Wakanda Forever just dropped.
Okay, 2022, Wakanda Forever. She's next set to appear in Ironheart, which will depict Riri's full origin story and how she constructs a suit of armor like those worn by Tony Stark. It had been known Ironheart would be coming for years, but a vague time frame was all that was said. Now, Ironheart will premiere on Disney Plus on June 4th. It's a new era for MCU regarding Iron Man-esque characters, and Riri Williams will look to carve out her own legacy in her upcoming series. Anthony Ramos is also joins the cast as Parker Robbins aka the Hood, who will be another magic user added to Marvel's roster. All right, so that's kind of all we know about Ironheart at the moment, at least that Screen Rant's saying. So I am finding it hard to get excited for this one. I didn't dislike the character in Wakanda Forever. I didn't like the look of the suit. I didn't think that visually looked appealing on. I thought the CGI was a little bit. It looked like something from like maybe Voltron or something from
Power Rangers.
Power Rangers or something. I wasn't really into it. The character was fine. I didn't really get that invested into her, which is kind of unfortunate because they placed this character's introduction in a movie that was so heavy on mourning the loss of a legacy character. So I feel like she kind of got underserved in that way. So I'm not like uninterested in Ironheart. I kind of feel like Captain America. I feel very lukewarm on it. I'm very curious about the character of the Hood being introduced with magic, because with Doomsday coming with Doctor Doom, you have to introduce magic and science and kind of the merging of that. And it kind of seems like Ironheart being the technology side with Ironheart herself, and then the magic side with the Hood, it might introduce that concept of mixing magic and science for Doctor Doom to come in. But yeah, I don't know. I'm very lukewarm on it. What do you think, Ryan? What are you thinking about Ironheart?
I don't know. I don't. Again, I like the Ironheart character well enough in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. She was entertaining and engaging, and I didn't mind the suit design. But I don't know. I'm not really even just hearing about the summary and even hearing about Anthony Ramos being it. Who, I like him. He's an up and coming actor, but I can't really muster much excitement about the show.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Ace, how about you? How are you feeling about this show, this character?
I think I'm mildly interested. For the reasons that you nailed. You pretty much nailed your take. It's a character that the movie was so heavy that I did feel like in ways she didn't get her just, due, but she was a big plot point, for Wakanda Forever. They didn't take. I mean, I'm gonna go in watching this, thinking I'm gonna try to give her a fair shot, because like you said, that movie Wakanda Forever was so heavy that you couldn't focus on a proper introduction. So like I said, it's mildly interested, but the character really didn't captivate me. Her performance was okay, but I was more concerned with everything else that was going on in the movie. She was like my least concern.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know, guys. To me, it sounds like passive watch. What are you guys thinking?
Yeah.
Definitely not skipping it, but it has to catch you immediately, or it might drop to that skipping it territory.
I agree. It also has been like on the back burner for so long. It's been shot first. Like, I'm sure COVID and all these kind of like maneuvers of the universe, and the strike.
Oh,
and stuff.
and the strike. God.
I am a little worried of like how long this thing has been in the can, and we haven't seen really anything from it at this point, which is kind of strange. All right, so moving on.
Was she supposed to be in Armor Wars too? I'm not sure.
I don't even know if Armor Wars is a thing anymore. I don't even know if they're planning on making that thing. I haven't heard anything about that.
So we'll throw that in the Blade bucket then, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. Now we move on to Eyes of Wakanda. And this is another one that I believe Ryan Coogler is even a producer on. That's been around for a while. Oh, what the heck is going on with Screen Rant? There we go. Oh, what the heck? Screen Rant, what are you doing? Anyways, that was kind of weird. Eyes of Wakanda. Screen Rant says, the Black Panther franchise for Marvel has been incredibly successful in terms of box office as well as critical acclaim. Black Panther was nominated for Best Picture at the Academy Awards, won Best Original Score, Costume Design, and Production Design. Black Panther Wakanda Forever was nominated for Best Supporting Actress and won for Best Costume Design. Now the world of Wakanda is set to be explored even more in the upcoming series Eyes of Wakanda, which will release on Disney Plus on August 6, 2025. It'll be an animated series set within the MCU and will feature a number of stories revolving around Wakandan warriors trying to recover vibranium artifacts over the course of Wakanda's history. It is always great to return to Wakanda, and Eyes of Wakanda will be the next look into one of Marvel's best locations. All right. This one is really fascinating to me because I don't usually gravitate towards the animated stuff, just like fully honest. I usually don't. But going through the history of Wakanda in various places in the MCU, a bunch of different warriors, because I really like the world of Wakanda and everything that they set up in the movies, that I do have interest to explore more of it in the MCU. I will be honest, I thought when this was originally announced, I thought it was a live action show that was like the what do they call it? The Dora um
Milaje.
yeah, I thought that it was going to focus on them. But to find out that it's animated, a bunch of different warriors, different time periods, I'm not going to say I'm disinterested. Uh but I'm also like not the most excited for it. But what do you think, Ace? What are you thinking about Eyes of Wakanda?
I was trying to put on my Wakanda Forever necklace, but that didn't
Oh,
work because I
sweet
just
man.
broke it. But
Oh no.
no, I can fix it.
No.
But no, I'm excited for anything that's Black Panther related and anything that Ryan Coogler's attached to, because like with him and the Wakanda movies and the Creed movies, he doesn't miss for me. I'm anytime you get to explore more in depth of things we don't know in this universe of Wakanda, I'm all for. So this is definitely going to be a weekly watch for me.
All right, weekly watch. Okay. How about you, Ryan?
I mean, again, I'm not. I mean, again, I like both Black Panther movies. I like Ryan Coogler; he's a good director. I don't know. I am mildly interested regarding trying to recover Wakandan artifacts, because it's like at one point in like the original Black Panther, Michael B. Jordan's character Killmonger is trying to recover some artifacts from a British museum. And I mean, just the overall issue of African artifacts being held in museums around the world, and the awkward conversation that needs to be had surrounding that issue. I'm interested to see. I'm all interested to see how it's tackled in a show, if it can handle the subject matter well. So I that there has me mildly interested, but otherwise, I guess like I don't know, I'm not super interested in the project.
Okay, so where do you think you would rank it?
I'm fine with either will check out or passive watch.
Okay, and Ace, you said weekly watch.
Yeah.
I think we'll do will check out, because I'm
All right,
kind of on
deal.
the same page with Ryan. I'll put it on will check out. Definitely has my interest. And I hope it's great. Hope it's great. All right, we've come down to the final two, and this one I feel like we can just kind of burn through. At least in my opinion, I feel like I can burn through it. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but Marvel Zombies. Marvel Zombies has been teased a number of times throughout the MCU. First was Zombie Iron Man attacking Peter Parker and the Mysterio illusion in Spider-Man Far From Home. Though it was just a nod to the iconic comic run, the idea of incorporating it into the MCU was just the beginning. What If featured an entire episode about zombies and showed that a premise like Marvel Zombies could work amazingly for an animated television series, which I did like that episode of What If, I will admit.
Same.
So Marvel Zombies will release on Disney Plus October 2025, just in time for Halloween festivities. Marvel Zombies will seemingly be a TVMA rated series, meaning it will be one of the most violent shows for the MCU yet, indicating the difference or the different direction Marvel Studios is willing to take with their properties. So I'll admit the MA has me a little bit intrigued, because it's like, how violent is it going to be? I did kind of like the episode they did in What If was kind of violent for Marvel anyways with the zombies, but zombie content's not really my thing. And the fact that this is basically like a one-off multiverse, no connection to anything else in the MCU going on whatsoever, it just kind of, in my opinion, having not read the comics, maybe even the comics themselves, it sounds like a gimmick to me, where what if these characters were now zombies and we just made it super violent? I'm just gonna be straight up honest. I have no interest in this. It's a skipping it for me easily. Ryan, what do you think?
Yeah, zombies. No. For me, zombies in video game format are much more engaging. Like Dying Light 2, really fun video game. You get to slice a bunch of zombies up, and parkour and such. It's really fun. But like, yeah, I guess it's kind of like the similar camp as the What If. It's just like, it's like they say, oh, we're going to get super creative, and then it's like the most relatively banal creative decisions you can make with such a premise. Yeah, so yeah, I'm fine with skipping it too. Yeah.
How about you, Ace?
Same. I feel like we saw this already. Like,
All
and
right.
I feel like what if we, what we got from What If, I feel like was enough to intrigue my interest. If I wanted to see, I mean, I do love zombies and stuff like that, but if I wanted to rewatch that, I would just go rewatch the What If episode. I just feel like, what more stories can you tell from this point of view?
Yeah, hopefully they surprise us, but it sounds like we're all in agreement. So Marvel Zombies, skipping it. All right, and that brings us to our final one, and that is Wonder Man, which, by the way, no idea who this is. But anyways, Screen Rants, if it would stop being stupid, says this about Wonder Man. Releases December 2025. Wonder Man is set to introduce a brand new hero into the MCU. Yahya Abdul Mateen II, who I like him quite a bit. Even in Aquaman, which I don't like very much. I thought he was great in it. Will star as Simon Williams, who is an actor and stunt performer that gains superpowers and becomes Wonder Man. Alongside him is Ben Kingsley, reprising his role as Trevor Flattery from Iron Man 3 and Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. The series will consist of 10 episodes, with Shang-Chi and Spider-Man 4 director Destin Daniel Cretton directing the first 2. I actually didn't know that. That's cool. Wonder Man will be released on Disney Plus in December 2025, marking the end of the calendar year for Marvel Studios. The Wonder Man show has been a long time coming for the MCU since it first went into development in 2021. Wonder Man has the chance to be a significant part of the MCU going forward, so seeing him in his own series is exciting. All right, so having really no knowledge about the character, first time kind of hearing about it, there's a lot in here that actually does have me interested. I like the concept, and we saw a little bit in the sizzle reel trailer itself of the actor kind of showing behind the scenes of. I always kind of like those kind of movies and shows when it's behind the scenes in Hollywood and in the performing entertainment life. Trevor Flattery coming back into this is so insane to me, but I love it so much. I love that character. Even when he was first revealed in Iron Man 3, which people I know hated because they messed up the Mandarin at that time. I didn't know the Mandarin. I didn't read the comics. I thought he was hilarious. I thought the twist was hilarious. And when he popped back up again in Shang-Chi, I was so happy. And he was one of like the highlights of the movie for me. In some ways, he stole every scene that he was in. I really liked this character. So now you have him involved with this new character about acting, about being an actor. You get that character in there. I think there's a lot of fun that could be played here. I didn't know Destin Daniel Cretton was directing the first 2 episodes. That's really exciting to me as well, because he's a great director and he's going to be doing this, and then he's doing Spider-Man 4. They've got this guy in their little Marvel pocket, so that's awesome. Yeah, I don't know much about this project, but on the surface level, there's a lot in here I'm actually really intrigued by. What do you think, Ace?
I'm vaguely familiar with the character. I'm just curious to see what route they're gonna go. Anytime you can introduce new characters, cool. Introducing a character for the first time with his own show, we'll see how that goes. Because normally, they tend to try to tie him into with other properties. But I'm actually a little surprised that because I'm looking at the cast list, I'm surprised the actor that plays Zemo isn't involved in this, considering this is what I'm saying. They might go heavily away from the comic.
What's his name?
Daniel Bruhl.
Daniel Bruhl. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Like I said, I'm surprised he's not in it, and maybe that might be a spoiler, because his character of Wonder Man is a character that gets his abilities from Zemo and kind of is tasked to infiltrate the Avengers from within. So I'm kind of seeing. I'm trying to see what direction they're gonna go in. So it piques my curiosity to see how they're gonna do it, but we'll see. Like I said, new characters are always cool. We'll see what direction, but for me, it might be a passive watch.
Okay. Ryan, how about you?
I mean, again, for a show that I didn't even know existed till just now, I mean, I'm well interested. I like Yahya Abdul Mateen II. I didn't find him all that interested in Aquaman 2, but then again, I didn't find that much interest in Aquaman 2 to begin with. So, I'll give him a pass on that one. I'll give him a pass. But I really enjoy him. Like the Watchmen 2019 miniseries, really good. Ben Kingsley coming back. I mean, it's like they are. Well, I guess, yeah. I did not ask for it, but I am nevertheless intrigued. It's like, okay, all right, we've apologized for that kind of awkward whitewashing ish sort of, but not really situation. So now we can just have fun with the character. So I'm interested in that, and the idea of the Wonder Man being an actor and stunt performer turned superhero. Yeah, all right. That seems like an interesting direction to go.
So how are you feeling you would rank it?
Will check out. Let's go with Will check out.
Okay. And Ace, you said passive watch.
Yeah, but we might have to put it in must see just to get some balance on the chart.
Yeah, I know, right? It's quite lacking up there.
Nah, but passive watch. Yeah.
Passer, I think I'll go because, like I said, there's things I don't know anything about this guy. I don't know really anything about what to expect from this series. But just on the surface, there's things here that I'm interested in. So I think I'll go with Ryan. I think we'll put it with Will Checkout because I'll definitely, especially those first 2 episodes, if Destin Daniel Cretton is directing them, I'm curious to see that. All right, guys, there we go. That is our tier ranking for 2025 Marvel. Looking at this tier ranking, guys. Yes. Congratulations, guys. We did it. We did
First ever.
Yeah.
The first ever tier ranking on the channel, too. Very exciting. So just looking before we head out of here, because we've hit the hour mark. So that was really good timing. Just looking at the tier ranking, how are we feeling about this upcoming year for Marvel? I'll start with you, Ace. How are you feeling about their upcoming year?
I'm excited. It's a lot of potential hits, but I also think from a casual fan standpoint, like box office numbers, there might be a lot of potential misses, like Thunderbolts, Brave New World could be potential misses. It just depends on how well the marketing is going to be and the interest, because like this was a year where we didn't get a lot of Marvel MCU. We got way more Sony stuff. Maybe next year, people are going to be hungry for that MCU, and maybe they have pick up comic interest again.
How about you, Ryan?
Yeah, I'm just one show at a time, or one movie, but I'm interested. Like I said, I'm really excited for Captain America: Brave New World. I'm interested to see what they can actually do with a Fantastic Four movie, since they seem to actually want to make a Fantastic Four movie. Thunderbolts, I'm mildly intrigued, and everything else, if I get to it, I get to it. If I don't, I don't.
Yeah, I would say for me on the surface, it looks like, wow, Marvel's really going from 2 movies to 10 like projects. That's a lot more. Yeah, it's not really. You got like, what is it, 4 animated shows? You got Marvel, Spider-Man, Wakanda, What If. So yeah, you got like 4 animated shows, 3 movies, and then you really only have like 3 series that I'm interested in checking in. So for me, honestly, it's kind of more like 6 or 7. I don't think it's overwhelming. I don't think it's too much. I also don't think it's overly exciting. Like we've kind of talked about Fantastic Four. They've got to get it right. I'm very curious to see if they can knock that out of the park. Could be fantastic. It's our only thing up in must see. I'm excited for Daredevil, excited for Thunderbolts. Everything else, I just feel kind of lukewarm on at the moment. So doesn't look like their strongest year yet. Doesn't look like the most exciting slate to me, but I'm hoping some of these and skipping it and passive watch can be surprise hits and jump up, and retrospectively I'll be like, they should have been must see. Like they were fantastic. So that's my hope.
Maybe we do at the end of the year, we recap this and see after it's all done and say, hey, will we make any changes?
I like that idea, man. I think we could totally do that. But with that, guys, that is the show. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Put down in the comments your tier rankings for these upcoming projects. I want to give these fellas one last time to shout out their channels. We'll start with you, Ace. Where can people find you?
You can find me at the Ace Avenue, DAACE Avenue, for your sports, movies, and more from yours truly, the Ace.
Awesome. And Ryan.
You can find me on YouTube and Letterboxd at Movie Reviews with Ryan Lane. I put out about 2 reviews a week.
Excellent. And you can find me right here, guys. Their links are down in the description below. Go check them out. They're great guys. And I thank you guys for being members, and I thank you guys for being here. And we will see you guys again next week. Take care.
Yeah, see ya.